Today I want to talk to you about the pros and cons of the Amazon Seller app. I love the Amazon Seller app and I hate the Amazon Seller app. So I'll talk about why. First, let me talk to you about why I love it. The first love about the Amazon Seller app is that it's free. I mean, that's probably the best part of it right there. It's a free app that you can use. It's got a ton of functions, but I'll get later to why I don't like the Amazon Seller app. But let's focus more on the love part right now. So the things that I love doing on the Amazon Seller app, other than it being free, is I love checking my disbursement. I love checking my sales for the day. I love checking to see how much I'm going to be getting on my upcoming disbursement. I like being able to know that because it helps me make better decisions when it comes to sourcing. I kind of know what funds are going to be coming in on my next disbursement, and I can kind of see how much I need to save for bills and all that fun stuff. And then the rest of it I could spend on inventory or ways to grow my Amazon business. So number one is checking the disbursements. Number two is checking your orders. I mean, I don't know how many of you are as addicted to checking orders as I am. I think my wife is even more addicted to checking orders multiple times a day, checking the pending orders, checking the new orders, checking to see which orders have shipped. We love that, and we love doing that on the Amazon Seller app. Number three thing that we like doing on the Amazon Seller app is repricing our inventory. I don't know about you, but when we're checking our orders, sometimes we see things that are like, oh my gosh, we sold 3 of these today. We need to double check to make sure that we are priced the right way. We need to make sure that we're priced competitively. So we might go and check it out and realize, oh, we're the lowest price right now, and the next lowest is like $3 or $4 above us. We need to raise our price quickly. So we can do that right on the app. We love it. It's really cool. The next thing that we love about it is to check on the status of our FBA shipments. We like going in and seeing what if the shipment's en route, if it's been checked in, if it's been completed. Sometimes when we check that it's completed, we can then go in and kind of check to make sure that everything arrived correctly and nothing got lost along the way. So we like doing that with the Amazon Seller app, checking our FBA shipments. Another thing that we love to do in the Amazon Seller app is to reply to customer emails. I hope you know by now that the faster you can reply to emails, the better your metrics are when it comes to customer service. Amazon used to be like, okay, you need to reply to emails within 24 hours. And now, when Q4 came around, they said it's probably better that you reply to emails within 12 hours. And so, now that Q4 is over, they might be a little bit more relaxed about replying. But the faster you can reply to your customer, the better your customer relationship metrics will be. So check it out. Making sure that you can reply to your customers. And a little tip about replying to customers. Sometimes if you ever have an automated system set up where you email your customers automatically when they get their stuff, maybe asking them for feedback, and you get a little message saying, hey, we're out of the office, but you can either click no reply needed for that because there's really no reply needed, or you can just reply one time and say, thank you for letting me know, just wanted to remind you of whatever, But the best thing, or the worst thing you can do with customer emails is ignore them. So Amazon dings your seller account really badly when it comes to ignoring emails, so you always want to be sure that you reply. So with the Amazon Seller app, I even get a little notification on my phone that pops up that says, you just got a message from Pamela Wilkerson, or I don't know if that's a real person, I have no idea. But, and then you can reply to that email very quickly. Another thing that I love using the Amazon Seller app for is to know if something is hazmat. I don't know how many times that you've bought something before and then it's time to send it into Amazon and you realize, oh, it's hazardous materials, or Amazon thinks it's hazardous materials. Now with the Amazon Seller app, it will tell you. A lot of other scanning apps don't tell you that it's hazmat. Amazon will, or at least tell you that it's under hazmat review. That way you can also decide if you just want to buy it and hold it and wait till that review process is over. And then the last thing that we love doing with the Amazon Seller app is to check if there's any other restrictions. Sometimes there are certain brands that are restricted for everybody unless, they've been approved. Other times there are certain categories that you're not approved in, and maybe you think you're scanning a toy, but it's actually in, another category that you're not approved for. Maybe you're like, oh, I found this really great costume, and surely that's in the toy category because that's like a toy thing, right? Well, no, some costumes are in toys, some costumes are in clothing, and you might be gated for that category. So Amazon Seller app will tell you whether or not you are restricted for that item or not. So those are the things that I love about the Amazon Seller app. But there are a few things that I do not like the Amazon Seller app at all. And really they're deal breakers. I do not ever use the Amazon Seller app when it comes to sourcing my inventory. That right there, I mean, let me tell you the reasons why. Number one, Amazon Seller app does not give you links to Camel or Keepa, or I almost said Keepa, Camel or Keepa, and they won't give you that information so you can make better smart sourcing decisions. And almost everything I purchase online, I check out Camel history, Keepa history, so that I know that this item really is a consistent seller, or this item really does consistently sell at this price, because you can never really trust today's information to be a good predictor for tomorrow's sales. So I always want to have that kind of data, and there's other selling apps out there who give me that, and Amazon Seller app does not. So number one, it's missing on the Camel or Keepa data. Number two, Amazon only shows you on the first page the top or the lowest price new and the lowest price used item, and they'll do the little calculations for you when it comes to whether or not you're making profit on it or not. They'll tell you how much your net return will be, but it only shows you that the lowest new price and the lowest used price so that you can make your decision. Well, I want to have more information than that. If the lowest new price happens to be $10 or $15 lowest than the next new FBA price, I want to know that. Also, I want to be able to separate FBA from third-party sellers when it comes to finding out if I want to buy something that's in new condition to sell on Amazon. There's so many different things that Amazon doesn't do when it comes to sourcing. Another thing is that it only calculates that information for the newest low and the newest used. So it only shows you the lowest new price and the lowest used price, and it only calculates the ROI for the lowest used and the lowest new price. And again, I want to choose different prices. I want to make up my own price that I want to sell this app and figure out what the ROI is going to be. Amazon doesn't offer that. And then the biggest thing, my biggest complaint when it comes to Amazon Seller app is that it does not calculate all the fees when they're trying to calculate your return on investment, when they're trying to calculate your profit. There's a little message at the very, and I'm going to read it for you. There's a little message at the very bottom of the thing. It says, fees displayed may not include all expenses related to selling on Amazon or FBA. I'm like, really, Amazon? You're going to calculate the fees when you don't even include all of them? That's a deal breaker for me. So what we're going to do in a future video is I'm going to talk to you about my number one favorite sourcing app, and there's another one that's a very close second. In fact, sometimes I use them both. We'll talk about that in the future. But when it comes to sourcing, we do not use the Amazon Seller app, and I do not suggest that anyone else uses the Amazon Seller app. The information is too incomplete. The information is it's just too minimal. I desire more information so I can make my best sourcing decision, and I would hope that for you. So we'll talk in the future video about what the sourcing app that we love, what we use the most, and how we make those decisions. So we'll talk about that in the future, so stay tuned. But when it comes to the Amazon Seller app, again, I love it when it comes to other things like figuring out hazmat or restricted or checking my sales or checking my disbursement or all these other things. That's really great, so I use it almost on a daily basis, but I don't use it when it comes to sourcing profitable inventory. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you want to, you can look below, give us a thumbs up, comment, question. You can find links in the description. And if you want to find out more about turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA, check us out on the blog, fulltimefba.com. I'll see you there.